Meeting for the Dayton Conservation Commission at 7:30. My watch says 7:30 even. Okay, before we begin with approving of any of the minutes or anything, there was a glitch in the advertising for DI Trust on Forest Street. For some reason, it never was put in the paper advertised for tonight. Therefore, it will be next Wednesday. We'll have a special meeting next Wednesday, so if you've come here for that and you wish to leave, I guess now's the time to go.
Will it be the same time next
Same
Wednesday?
time, but there's no need to be hanging here if that's the only reason you came. Next
Wednesday, 7:30.
Wednesday at 7:30 here.
Can I ask if we can get copies of that abbreviated notice from the
I'll
Conservation
leave a copy
Commission?
in the upstairs in the town hall. You can come up.
Can I get it like tomorrow, or?
Pardon?
Can I get it,
A plan?
no,
No.
the copy of the abbreviated notice? They said it was
Yeah.
available from you
If
guys?
you leave an email address, I can email it to you.
All right, can I just give you my email address and you can email it to me? I'd like to
Yes.
see that.
I promise I won't do any crank emails.
That's fine, I know how to delete.
Spam. Okay, you can just drop that off as you're leaving. Okay, is there a motion to approve the minutes from the previous meeting?
Make a motion to approve minutes from our 3/13 meeting.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, Kenneth Nickerson, okay, you're here tonight as a return for Main Street concerning a vernal pool.
That's correct. Mr. Nickerson has copies of the plans. Was anybody else here for this? You are? Okay. There's a copy of it.
He's too interested down there.
Okay.
All right, just to give some background information, we
Thank you
had
so much, appreciate it. Thank you.
flagged the wetlands, and it's depicted on this plan that I'm showing here, not on yours, because there's just black and white, but it's the blue line on this plan, and that was approved under the ANRAD, and the consultant for your commission mentioned the fact that there was this area of ponding down on the corner of the property. We went out and we located the drainage inlet to the street drain system and found an elevation of 82.1 for the opening. And it's an old stone opening, so it's quite large. So it's not really going to obstruct the water going in there. So we used the elevation of 82.5 to just develop the line of the ponded area, which is another blue diagram on my plan. And I observed that there was no water at that elevation, but there were signs of where it had got there over the course of the years. So we feel that that's the limit of the ponding. So then we measured off 100 feet on our plan, showed the radius, and it falls short of the BBW line that was approved previously. So we want to use this plan as an update to that previous plan that we had submitted. Oh, just for the record, I'm John Delano, sorry.
Okay, now, Charlie, this was initially an RDA or
No.
An ANRAD.
NRAD, okay.
And it was
It was
approved,
name read, we approved this line.
condition on us, I'm sorry. Shelley.
Consultants, when they went out there, saw this pool and said it was, could be a potential vernal pool, and that's why it's here tonight.
Okay, so you have no intent at this time to construct, you're just concerned with the wetland
Yeah,
delineations
that's
on
what they
it.
had brought
Yeah.
up.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so that 100 and 100, I mean, you're gonna be, it doesn't really appear as though it's going to affect whatever you're gonna do in the future.
That's correct.
No, it wouldn't affect it. So you haven't really determined whether it is or isn't a potential mineral pool?
No, we're just gonna acquiesce
No,
to it.
The buffer
Yeah.
zone is there,
Yeah.
and, well, under our bylaw, the buffer zone, this is the vernal pool. But even so, it still falls within the 100-foot buffer, so there's not a problem.
Yeah,
I
no,
expected
it's
there
just-
wouldn't be a problem. Kenneth was all excited.
Yeah, I don't blame him. Though, I mean, without knowing exactly where it was, it
Well,
could affect
It's-
it.
it's not gonna-
With this.
But you
It's not
fellows,
gonna alter anything because it's within, and your 100-foot buffer zone is even beyond the 100-foot buffer from the
sure,
vernal pool.
Yeah. And-
So it's not gonna
Not
make
at all.
any,
and I'm sure
We
you
tried
fellows
to
know
tell you
that
that,
that pool was there and
I
you
know
knew it
it
was
was
gonna
access.
impact them, but I don't
and
blame
you're gonna hear,
Ken for being a little nervous.
you're gonna be delighted to hear the chipping of the frogs and
I hear that, I hear that now, because.
Yeah, oh, they just started,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's,
oh, yeah.
So it still remains a potential vernal pool,
Yes.
but there's no impact
Impact.
on the development.
fair enough.
Thank you.
All right, we're glad that we could.
Do I-
Now you can go back to West
I
Bridgewater.
know,
Okay,
I've got a
um,
meeting I'm supposed to be at.
So, okay, so do we need a motion here
Yeah,
to
I'll make a
accept?
motion that we accept the fact that the vernal pool is not going to affect the ORAD that we originally issued.
So there's a disclaimer on that, ORAD or ANRAD, does that
No.
need to be
No,
qualified
No,
further, or?
we approved the wetland line and the buffer zone. This, you avoid that might impact, it's not an impact. So whether it's there or not there, whether it is or isn't a vernal pool doesn't make any difference.
And I appreciate that. I'm just noting just because as a layman, I don't really understand all the ins and outs of the process and the regulations, but, so, under the order of delineation, there's a qualification that the boundaries were determined to be inaccurate because, so
Of the
that,
vernal pool, or a potential vernal pool.
so I would expect, or I would like that statement to
What
be
we'll do
either,
is send you a statement saying that you've established that it isn't an impact,
okay,
and we'll scrub that right off your,
very good,
okay.
awesome.
Mr.
Be
Chairman.
happy, don't worry.
Good point. Mr. Chairman, before,
Was there a second on Charlie's
Before
motion?
I second, I was wondering if anybody has any
yeah, I was
questions?
gonna say the same thing.
Okay.
Did you have a question?
With the, I didn't bring the old plans, but with these, the amount of feet, the 170.35, is that the same on this plan as
Yes.
the old plans?
Yes,
So there's no difference on this pie, it's just over
just
here?
the vernal, potential vernal pool down on the other side.
Now, did the people that came down from Boston have the same exact
It wasn't from
determination of where
Boston,
the
it was,
vernal?
it was
our
our
consultant.
agent, our consultant.
Oh,
Okay,
She thought this might impact, it has no impact.
Because
she has the
it's,
same, she has it in the same exact place,
yes.
Yeah,
because it's all very wet in there.
And we're not intending to do any work down there at all, or within 100 feet of it, or even, what, almost 200 and something feet away.
Well, do you know where you are? Can you show us on this map where you are planning on doing something?
There'll be a future filing for work up in this private.
Driveway, which is gonna be in the buffer zone,
No,
this
that's
should be a
but,
buffer?
then he's gonna have it back here.
It makes no This would be,
Oh,
this would be a,
No touch.
the buffer.
so you
That's the
can't
pool.
do
The
anything.
pool is up to here.
Yeah.
Come in.
And then they go 100 feet, but this 100 feet is greater than this 100 feet.
Yeah.
So-
It falls within here, so it doesn't have any impact
The
at all.
plan
No.
so far.
No, so he'll do the driveway here and then here.
It's gonna go through a buffer zone anyway.
Yeah, yeah, it's not gonna, no influence.
She's not gonna be.
You'll be filing it again when he goes through the
River
buffer
water
zone.
and the property's gonna be respected.
You know, that was.
Still further away than any of the other abutters.
Unnecessary.
Yeah, well, they direct the butters.
Where do you think it's gonna be?
They-
Are you doing, are you building the lot yourself? How do you know where it's
Okay,
going?
we are gonna continue on with our meeting, since that's gonna come, be raised again when you go through the buffer zone for the driveway.
Exactly.
I
Okay.
second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Don't drive back too fast.
No, no, I don't. Traffic was good coming down. Now I got open space meeting here. Thank you, gentlemen.
okay, we have,
Thank you.
you're welcome. We have a request for abbreviated notice of resource area delineation for Horton Street. Okay,
Good night, girls.
Bye, Charlie.
You guys know how to clear a room out.
I know for a fact because.
Good evening. For the record, Jeff Tolman from SciTech Engineering. This hearing was continued from your last meeting in order for the commissioner to go out and review the wetland line. Unfortunately, my wetland scientist was not able to make it here tonight, but I did speak to him on the phone, and they did provide me some DEP data sheets. I'll turn in, supporting,
Charlie and I, we both visited the site,
yeah,
and we were very comfortable with the flagging.
yeah.
So, I don't know.
I'll make a motion that we accept the wetland line as going on the plan.
Second.
Is there any, there's no one else here, okay, all in favor?
Aye. One down, one to go.
Thank you.
Okay, do you want it to go out of order since, oh no, you're here, okay, you're here for Jennifer
Yeah,
Lane?
these are two.
Yes.
Okay, all right, I'll let you do that, and then you get your paperwork ready for us for the, for Jennifer Way. I assume today you got all your paperwork and you,
Yeah, just about.
That would be a
okay,
bad assumption.
Now, so this is an RDA that we've been before you previously on for the house, the construction of the house. So what the applicant is looking to do here is just to construct a pool with a patio surrounding it and also a pool house in his backyard. As you can see on the plan, the backyard, basically from the back edge of his existing patio is in the buffer zone. All the work that he's proposing is in the outer 50-foot buffer zone, besides minimal amount of grading just over the line into the inner 50-foot buffer zone. But he is maintaining the 25-foot no disturb buffer. And again, I mean, all the improvements, the patio, the pool, the shed will all be outside the 50-foot.
okay, I have a question here.
Sure.
Is this, north side or south side of Jennifer?
South.
South side.
Yeah.
So this house is in the very beginning?
It's about halfway down.
I thought that went way up.
Well, this is the kicker. The whole lot drains away from the well. so
Okay,
it's gonna have zero impact on the well.
okay.
Everything, that.
No, because I know that side of the, you said,
Correct.
now you said, what, south side you said? You said south?
South side.
So,
Yeah, because that land goes higher and higher, okay.
It goes
so-
higher until you get back to the stone wall, and then
Okay.
it drops off on the other side, and that's where the
Okay,
resource areas are.
All right, okay, all right, that clicks in now, I remember that,
But if you look at the grading around the pool, everything's gonna drain down towards Jennifer Lane.
yeah. So it will not, have any flow into the wetlands?
Absolutely
or-
zero, right,
Okay.
that's higher. Where the stone wall is higher than where the area we're proposing to work.
Okay,
the vernal pool is in the
Yeah,
next,
correct, it's on the abutting property, or actually, it was on part of the original Naughty Pine property, but it kind of splits the property line. But the area where the house is and where the pool's gonna be, that part slopes down towards Jennifer Lane. It goes up to, approximately where that stone wall is, and then it drops down into where the body of water is, the pool there in the back. We've labeled it a potential, vernal pool under the town bylaw. We do have we're showing the buffer on that.
yeah,
The buffer on that is on the other side of the wall. So basically, the wall he's got in the back acts as a nice, physical barrier
yeah,
between the uplands and the resource areas on the property.
okay. Okay, no, I have it well within my head where it is and the land.
yeah, there's no impact at all.
Does anyone have any questions?
No?
Is there a motion?
Fine.
You make it, I'll second it. I already wrote it down.
Motion to approve as strong.
Is there a
I'll
second?
second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Have a good night, guys.
Have a good night.
Okay, all right, here we go. Kenny's up for part one, right?
Yeah. He's up for it, but Bill's not here yet, the bastard.
Say it a little louder so they can hear you all
Yeah,
across
that's-
town.
That's, they got it right there, They all got it. Everybody's got it. It is what it is, and I am what I am. When you get older, your mouth works faster than your brain.
Okay.
He said he would be here by 8 o'clock.
Oh, it's not 8 o'clock yet.
Not 8
Well,
o'clock.
let us go to some of the other items, and then we can come back. Is that okay with you, Ken?
We'll jump
You
back.
you look
The
very
longer I
relaxed.
wait, the less I have to do on putting the radiator in the truck, because my daughter and her boyfriend are doing it, so. No complaint here.
Well, they're gonna hear you.
That's all right.
They have to be watching the hearing. And if they're watching, then I'll put the radiator in.
Okay, let us skip signing for Council Oak Way and move on to our enforcement. Charlie, you've been there, you want to make comment on?
I've been over to Tony's, I was over there last week. The wetland that he filled is right back being a wetland.
Yeah.
The sedges have grown right through the rocks and stuff that he put in there. But we've got to do something about it. I brought a copy of the plan that he had for his subdivision, and it's pretty clear, and it shows that the area is a wetland. This is the area we're talking about
Well,
right
this is one right at the corner of Main and.
here. Yeah, it's lot 4.
Yeah. But I was by there yesterday, and it's wet, very wet.
Okay. But the problem is we issued an enforcement order, and the enforcement order's there, and it's not moving anywhere. He's filled in a bulk of this right here, he's filled in a little bit over here. But it's pretty clear that this is his wetland line established when he did the subdivision. and it was changed, it was modified from this point to this point. The flags were moved further toward the development, so they had to wiggle around there, but this remains the same. This is a wet meadow, and it's just as wet as it's always been, even though we filled
He's
it
got,
in.
this fill, when I went by, there was fill here that was done at a different time than here,
Yes.
and a different time, so there's at least 3 different fillings in there.
Well, this was all done mostly at one time. This is an addition right here,
Okay,
because nothing's grown through it yet. That was a lot this year, or last.
okay. We have the authority to, by our bylaw, to fine. I don't know how that fits in with our new town administrator, but if we should vote upon it and then give our vote to her and then let her take it from there.
Well, what we should do is get him back.
He's not coming back,
Well,
he hasn't done anything.
Well, we should at least try, because we've let this ride for a while now, and it doesn't look good for us. We should try to get him back here and get something done here. If he refuses to do something, we can take your step.
Okay, well then let's for the next, well, we have a meeting next week. Let's bring it right up to next week. Say that it's gonna be, the enforcement order will, either it's gonna be cleared in that time, or,
Why don't I call him and have him here for next week?
okay,
Then we can decide, or.
and vote in his,
whether we
vote in his
will or won't
presence.
Cooperate,
And vote in his presence then,
yes.
okay? So a letter will go to him.
It's pretty
or
clear
a phone call.
that he did what he did. I mean, these are pictures that I took. This is the beginning of it. It's all the way in here now. And this is where it stands right now.
Okay, yeah, there's the different times of
He put
fill.
about, he put a layer of boulders down over the sedges, and then he put 7 or 8 inches of fill over and the sedges grew right through it.
It's going
It's
like
just as
that.
wet now as it was before. You can see the pictures right there. The clear spot is what he filled in last year. Where it's overgrown now is what he filled when he was building the house.
Okay, Charlie, let's carry on as you had said, and then next week we can, if we don't get a firm commitment as to when the fill is gonna be removed, we can issue a fine and then forward it to the town administrator. There you go.
Thank you. I checked with the planning board, and Center Street Woods, they still haven't lifted the embargo on any further development there. So there's not much that we can do about that. Mr. DeRosa, it's about time he filed a notice of intent.
Yeah,
I would like to send him a certified letter telling him that by our next meeting in May, that we expect to have it here.
he's been delaying, and Brandon's been saying he's been too
Again,
busy
we
for a
haven't
year.
pushed the issue. He was supposed to file, then Brandon, his consultant, was busy and he couldn't work with him, and then we just let it ride a little bit.
That was like
But there's no
September.
more writing.
Well,
September,
before
October,
that,
it's
before
been-
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now the issue will come, and he may be in the same category as Mr. Fredericks.
Well, I don't think it'll be quite as bad.
Not quite as
but-
bad, no, but,
But I'm pretty sure that we're gonna run into quite a bit of resistance with Mr. Roberts. And you'll note from the plan that the blacktop or the ground asphalt, that's in the buffer zone.
Right.
So there was always something around the building. And as far as our 20-foot undisturbed vegetation, I mean, it was always, they've always got around the building, so.
Yeah.
okay, so, all right, so that, wait, you jumped off where then? You jumped off, on that
We
last
ended
one?
up at DeRosa. DeRosa's gonna get a certified letter.
Wait, where is he on here?
He's right here.
Number 3.
Oh, okay. So we skipped that to
My
number two.
underground, and you missed that?
Okay, Matt Warhurst. Where,
No, these aren't, I told you about that one. That, the planning board won't let them move ahead with anything.
okay,
They have issues with drainage. The drainage was installed, and I think they still have some corrections that they
now
want.
that's off of Center Street?
Yeah, that's Center
Yeah.
Street Woods.
Okay, all right.
So they'd love to develop it, but they can't. Not
Okay,
until get the drainage issue straightened out.
okay. All right, let's go to correspondence then. We have a letter here from Attorney Fredericks.
Oh, yeah. It's in your packet.
Yeah, it's in this packet, the one that disappeared.
I go through all the trouble of putting those things together, you guys don't pay any attention to them.
Well, you know, I could just take Bill's, because Bill's not gonna look at it, and I'll have Bill's.
You went right over it.
Okay.
This is a letter from Robert Fredericks, addressed to Mr. Arujo, in reply to the letter we sent to Mr. Arujo about, is it Roberts, is that his name?
His first name's Robert, I can't think of his last name.
Where's Michael, is it Michael Boyer here?
Michael
Boyer,
Boyer,
that's the guy,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, I went there and did not see what was,
Well, if you read the letter, they make the case that it might have been Mr. Roderick again. He built houses in that little development, and there's some great changes in the back.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
basically what happened,
yeah.
the gentleman's upset, which I would be too. There was when the Fishers had that house there, the ground came down and there was a swale that came out where Tony's Way went to the culvert through Mendoza's out to the top, you know, down through, plus out across 138 to the Segregansett River. And
Well, he's had some pretty serious water running in his backyard.
and I'm gonna take this hat off and put my old planning board hat on. When that, I've never, I don't know if anybody ever got the drainage calculations that was on the subdivision approval. When I was on the board at that time, and it was done for a 10-year storm, not a 100-year storm. And every time this gentleman has had an issue with it flooding there, it's been either when we've had last February, remember, or March, remember we had that, well, it was like a hurricane in the first week in March. The ground was froze and the water ran off the field and it went through his backyard. And then last fall it happened once when we, you know, it was high saturation. But when I've plowed that field, what I've done is I made a berm just so, and when I plow, I make a dead furrow away from it, so the water does, it'll pond on my property and leach in, because it's all pure, it's pure sand there underneath the, you know, the topsoil. So, you know, I don't know how much more I can do it. I didn't change the grading.
And water runs downhill,
Yeah,
has for centuries.
because I mean, you know, with the APR on the farm, NCRS is involved in it, and I brought this issue to them, and they said, you didn't create the problem, the developer did.
okay, you know, when he came here, my question was, have you spoken with Mr. Rujo? No. Well, I mean, when you discuss things, you get things settled. You just don't come running to an agency.
Well, we haven't got to this point
And-
yet. We skipped
and-
it because you weren't here. We thought maybe you had died, and we didn't wanna,
Boy, they have a lot of faith in you.
And
Why don't we
That's
vote? Hey, why don't we?
Let me just finish this here, then we'll come back.
No, before Bill gets his pen going, we got to vote to approve it and have it signed.
Okay, we'll go back to,
Second one on the new hearing.
the 5-year lease agreement. Okay, dealing with Mr. Rujo, who wishes to rent our property up by Council Oaks for 5 years.
He's been approved.
It has been approved. We need
5?
5-year lease.
Okay, I thought it was 7.
No, it's 5 with an option to renew after 5 for another 5. I believe that's
Okay.
what it's in the contract. All
Gee,
38
Bill,
pages
I'll
of it.
keep going, Bill, since I was on a roll here. So we need to approve and sign the lease document and with Ken tonight. So is there a motion to sign the, and approve the document and sign the lease agreement?
I'll make a motion, we sign it.
Or is there a second?
I'll
Second.
second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
He signs it. You signed it already?
Yeah.
Kenneth?
So you don't like that?
What the hell kind of a signature is that?
That was 10 years the planning board made me do that. You know, signing all them damn Mylars? You can cash any check or go to any bank and get my money.
Who did you have as a first grade teacher?
Oh, don't even go there.
Well, we hope you're gonna be a good tenant, because we'll be right on you there, Ken.
Oh, we were talking about, he's gonna do mulching, and he's gonna do, okay, let's go back then to the property off of whatever street it is,
Elm Street?
Elm Street, you know, and you know, I just said, hey, go and talk to him. I says, maybe there is fault, maybe there isn't, maybe it can be solved without running two boards. So now you know, we got involved in it, which not really necessary because it's not wetlands. It's just overland flow. And now you got a lawyer involved, and you know, I just talk and discuss things, and it still hasn't happened, you said.
Well, there was a confrontation last year at town meeting when I was leaving. And I was threatened. So I says, you know, if that's, then we'll do it the proper way.
Yeah.
And it's done. Because I was accused of things that I never did, and, you know.
Yeah, that, okay, so that tells us a lot too.
Yeah,
But
that's
things appear to be going in the right direction now?
Like I said, I think a lot of it, again,
Yeah.
I didn't change the
Yeah, no,
grading.
no, and it really
The
doesn't,
developer did.
and it doesn't really involve this commission because it's not wetlands.
No.
It's just overland flow.
Right.
And,
If anything, I think it's something the planning board, it should go back onto the planning board or back to the developer.
so, all right, I guess, I
Because
just,
I can't help it, my land's here and your land's here, I didn't do that.
no, that's right, that's right. But
If I did it, shame on me, you know, then
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay. Bill, you wanna jump into this now, or you want me to continue?
Continue.
Okay. Correspondence from Mass Division of Waterways concerning comment on a proposed pier and float. Charlie, you have that, or we have that here?
Yeah. Everything is signed there is here. It's
Okay.
just copies of correspondence. They don't have any complaints with the piers that they propose to build there.
Okay, that's the pier that they're gonna go out and
That's
they're gonna,
Wheeler and
yeah,
Dyer.
Okay, yeah, they were here, what, a month ago, 2 months? And, okay. Okay. Okay,
I'm not gonna go catch the herring tomorrow. They're gonna dump them in at 11 o'clock on 44.
oh, okay. Usually I get a call, from someone, okay,
Gee, Bill, hope you feel better.
He's got a nasty cold.
yeah. So the herring is already at Middleborough, and
Yes,
they're
they
going,
are.
and they're gonna bring them into, the 3 Mile. They've been doing that for years now. I've been
They
to a.
catch them there and bring them over,
Yeah,
let them spawn, and they'll go back.
They're in the Taunton River right now, I saw them this morning.
oh, where did you?
Down by the boat ramp.
Oh, okay. Then I should, I was at the,
Swimming against
3
the
Mile,
creek.
at the Harrodike, and I never saw one there.
Yeah, they were swimming against a pretty strong current. That was maybe 10:30ish, 11 o'clock.
Okay, so they should be coming in, because I've been on that
Oh,
group for,
they're
20
pretty heavy
years.
in Middleborough.
And this weekend is the Middleborough Herring Festival, Saturday and Sunday. No, it's,
Okay.
just Sunday this year. They're not doing 2 days, just 1 day.
Where they go
Okay,
up the Mascot River?
Yeah. Or try to,
Well, from the Taunton River.
yeah.
yeah. So from the town, where else do they go? They go all the way up to Bridgewater?
They go to the Mill River and to Lake Sebatia. Last year was the first time in 100 years.
They did get up there?
Yeah.
Good. But we're having such a hard time getting them up. Here we get that fish ladder, and there was going to be, the fish ladder was supposed to go in last August, and that heavy rain came.
Yeah.
And they couldn't put it in, so they're still dumping them up by Route 44. They got just one of those cement, open the gate and out come the herring.
Do they let them, are they going up the Brook Street, up the Segregated?
Bill would
Yeah,
know
go
that.
They go to the Segregated.
Yeah.
Oh, they used to go up to Segregated.
Yeah, because when I was a kid, my
Yeah.
God, this time of the year, the water used to boil.
But I think these are a different herring. Now, there's something about herring
Well,
and
there's
alewives. I don't know
there's
what,
alewives
there
and
is a
bluebacks.
difference.
Alewives and bluebacks, there's 2 different
Yeah.
subspecies.
And was it the bluebacks are bigger?
The bluebacks are bigger and they, I can't remember which one. One spawns at 54 degrees, the other one spawns at like 57 degrees. There's a
Yeah,
slight
so
difference between
the blueback comes in later.
Yes.
And so these are the true alewives, which, you know, and, okay, they are in the Taunton River.
I
I'll
didn't
have
catch
to go
them,
back.
but I'm pretty sure that's what they were. I don't think they were pogies.
Nah, it's a little too cold for
Yeah,
pogies.
yeah, a lot too cold.
And you saw that many just from the shore?
Yeah, I was at the boat ramp,
Where, what boat?
Dayton boat ramp.
You could see them going through from there.
Yeah, I could see them splashing in the water.
Wow, okay. That's good, that's showing hopefully a comeback. And they should be in the canal too.
Yeah, another couple of weeks. They weren't there last week, I know that.
All right, you gentlemen all done with me?
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
I can go put the radiator in.
Or go get a drink and tell them the meeting went long.
No, no, today's a day that, one of those days you wish you weren't in business for yourself. Today I'm very jealous of you, Jim.
Have a
fun.
good night, Ken.
Thanks.
Take it easy.
proof of recording 1 year order. So what did the Gazette say, when you, did you show them that you had your?
No, I didn't bother showing them anything. I advertised it on Friday. I got the canned report back on Friday, and I was waiting for the ad proof. I made 3 requests for an ad proof, never got one. And then I decided that they weren't gonna run it in the paper. 'Cause there was another ad that I placed on Monday. They took for this RDA that we heard tonight, for Jennifer Lane.
Yeah,
And when I placed that ad, I also asked for the ad proof I placed on Friday, never got one. But by the time Tuesday came, way too late to worry about it, and when I saw the paper, I knew it wasn't run. I re-advertised it, and I did get an ad proof immediately.
okay, I guess we are finished then. Okay, we have a meeting next Wednesday, and that's specifically for.
DI Trust.
DI Trust,
And Mr. Robert, if he comes.
and if he doesn't come, then we act.
That's it.
Okay. All right, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
Second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Good night.
It's relatively painless.